Hey vinyl friends and vinyl community, it's Brian from Brian's Vinyl Records, and it's been a while, but I'm here because Record Store Day was this past weekend, and of course I've done Record Store Day probably since I want to say 2017, maybe 16, somewhere in there. I can't even remember, but I've done every Record Store Day, and with the exception of one, last Black Friday, there was really nothing I wanted on the list, but otherwise I've been to every one. I go out and I sit in the cold. Here in Minnesota, it was a blustery 30 degrees, just bitter cold day in April, which sucked because the week before it was 70 degrees out. Why couldn't it have been 70 degrees during this week? I just don't get it. Minnesota weather is crazy, guys. Anyway, I wanted to share with you what I got for Record Store Day, and we'll start with this one here. This is Eric Church's Caldwell County. Originally, this is a 4-song EP on a 7-inch record, originally released on his website for church choir members only, and now released to the general public for Record Store Day. So excited to get this one. I have not heard this at all, so we're looking forward to giving that a spin. Next up, I picked up the EP from Mark Knopfler. He just put out a new album, which I picked up as well. Fantastic. This was a 4-song EP that he put out just for Record Store Day. It is a Record Store Day exclusive, so hopefully that means he's not going to press this one again, or at least not for quite some time anyway. But 4-song EP, a little pricey, I thought, for a 4-song EP, but I love Mark Knopfler, so I was going to get this regardless. Next up was Collective Soul, their 1999 album Dosage, a very good album from Collective Soul, and this I'm looking really forward to. I've heard nothing but great things about the sound quality on this. Of course, Craft Records does this, and they do everything really well, so I'm not surprised by that. But this one says it's the 25th anniversary edition of the album. This is a Record Store Day first, so this will be released, I believe, in the future, but Record Store Day on this lime vinyl. So looking forward to listening to that. And last but certainly not least, this album is the one I actually went and stood in line for. I was looking very much forward to this. I had a original pressing of this in my cart for the longest time and never pulled the trigger. And then I saw that it was on this year's Record Store Day release, so I was really, really excited about that. The last one that they did sounded absolutely phenomenal, so I expect nothing different on this, but this is PM Dawn's Jesus Wept album. This is the 3rd album from PM Dawn, and Downtown Venus is a big hit off of this one, if you are familiar with the band. Hip-hop, rhythm and blues, hip-hop, R&B, soul, all sorts of different genres. These guys are fantastic, and so super pumped to have this on vinyl. This one comes on some sort of a purplish colored vinyl. Just awesome. So really looking forward to that. So stood in line for this, got it. Got pretty much everything on my list that I wanted. Super excited for this year's Record Store Day. There are some albums that I probably would have picked up, but decided to just go with these 4. Other ones I was looking at were the Sponge album, the unreleased Sponge album from, I believe, also 99-ish era. I can't remember, but they had released one that they kind of recorded and put on the shelf. I was looking at that, the Cranberries release, the Motley Crue Supersonic Demonic Relics, I was looking at as well. Those 3 I just decided not to try for. Went with the 4 that I really, really wanted on my list, and super happy with what I got. So hopefully you had a great Record Store Day if you partook and got everything you needed. I know lots of places sell their extra quantities online after the fact. So if you're missing something, check out some of those online record stores that do have extra inventory lying around. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, keep spinning, vinyl friends.